Express Analytics, founded in California in 1999. When the whole world was going towards creating websites, we decided that data was the oil for the next century, and we started to focus on creating solutions related to data analytics, because we found that our business executives needed support in making decisions based on data rather than gut feel. So the transition from a gut feel to fact-based organization is really what we focused on. And as you know, that there was a bust in the dot-com era, but the next big thing was data analytics, and we've been positioned very well in that. And as I mentioned, predictive analytics, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, these are the core areas where we currently focus on. Here are the clients that I mentioned to you: Lamps Plus, Sony, Solar Turbines, Qualcomm, 3M, Universal Studios, Adobe. They are all marquee Fortune 500 clients of ours. Here are some of our technology partners, as I mentioned. Currently, and these are some of the awards and recognition that we have received from the US media and press. And these are the academic engagements that we have today in India. So at this point, I would like to focus on what's in it for you, which probably is a question that you all have, as to say that what is Express Analytics, what is data science, and what are the values that one gets. So there are multiple roles that a data science world actually needs. And the three main ones, as are mentioned, is a data scientist, also known as data managers and statisticians; data engineers, also known as data architects and administrators of data; and data analysts, also known as business analysts, who take the business problem and try to solve it using analysis and advanced statistical techniques. So what are the skills a data scientist needs? Data scientists primarily need to be able to understand these domains, have solid skills in statistics and predictive modeling techniques, and some knowledge of languages like Python, R, SQL, and so on. Data engineers, primarily their objective is to actually build the architecture stack that will allow you to create an environment which allows the data scientist and the data analyst to be successful. So this is, in layman's terms, this is called a back-end architecture expertise. Very rare, but very important, because that's kind of the core of any kind of analytics one can do. And Hadoop, NoSQL, and Python are considered one of the important programming languages and skills that you would need. Of course, a heavy dose of mathematics and big data management is needed. Data analysts are people, they typically help people from across the company to understand their specific queries and translate those queries into a analysis or a visualization that helps the business make decision based on data. Their expertise is in Excel, Tableau, SQL, and data visualization tools like D3.js and so on. Now, there was a survey, and I wanted to highlight to you what is the um, importance and what are the salary trends for people in analytics. And this is a India-centric view. The contrast is artificial intelligence professionals are paid the highest salaries compared to their analytics peers. And as organizations are currently experiencing enormous amount of data being generated on a daily basis. The latest trends are something like petabytes of data being generated on a daily basis because we are all now connected through social media and other devices. As IoT and 5G become reality, the volume of data will actually go through the roof. And so highly skilled big data professionals and data engineers have become the most in-demand resources. Analytics professionals statistically earn almost 26% more than software engineers in India. In the case of other IT roles, the salary gap is higher, underscoring the advantage held by analytics professionals. Analytics professionals out-earn Java programmers by almost 50%. So in essence, what you will realize with this is that data is the new oil, and you have more money by refining the oil and creating jet fuel, which is what Express Analytics actually does. And I hope that some of you will actually see this as a meaningful career to get into. So from an Express Analytics standpoint, what do we do, and which areas of work are we looking for people to contribute to the Express Analytics? To give you a little bit of an understanding of what the vision of Express Analytics is, we are working on a product. Currently, we call it Oyster, and that product is a cloud data store for customer interactions from all channels. So imagine that if you are a big retail company and you have got multiple stores and you have got multiple um, channels. For example, you have got an e-commerce engine on the website where you can access through the browser, but you also have apps and you have got mobility devices, and you allow transactions through all these channels. So there is a need for the company to understand who you are as a person, what are your buying behaviors, what triggers a purchasing behavior on your point. And all of this creates a lot of data, as I mentioned. So we are looking for people who can actually help us in artificial intelligence, machine learning, algorithm development, and data analytics as the core set of people. But this being said, we are also interested in people who can actually tell a good story. So data visualization, which actually can walk a customer through a series of steps and explain to them what is the data telling. And of course, there are other areas in product development like product engineering, product management, and then full stack user experience development, and building the integrations with various systems upstream and downstream, where we can actually connect all of them together. So these are some of the work areas that we are looking for, and in this process, we're actually looking for both students in their third year to do internship with Express Analytics so that you can get a readiness assessment and readiness in the Express Analytics stack of technologies that we use. So at this point, I'm going to start a presentation that one of your, so last year we had a couple of students who attended the webinar, attended an internship with us. And I'm going to play that clip so that you can get a familiarity with what they did.
Hi guys, myself Pradeep Poddar. I'm finally an undergraduate student of Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, and I'm interning here in Express Analytics for the last 2 months. So we were very curious about interning in data science analytics platforms, and we were searching and exploring all the dimensions, and we come across with Express Analytics, and we send our resumes to the company CEO, who is Hemant Warudkar. He's a fantastic guy and very cheerful one, and he interviewed us. And after giving the interview, we get the opportunity to work here in Express Analytics, and in this way we joined the Express Analytics team. After joining here in Express Analytics, we find that it is very feasible to work here. They have very flexible proposition. We can work from home. You can come from office anytime. Only the deliverables need to be given to the client. That is the main purpose of the Express Analytics. So this is what how we come across, and we work with very wonderful team. Ninad is there, Hemant is there. They work from all across the globe, right from Japan to the United States of America, across all over the 24 hours dimensions. And company is very wonderful. It's having great working here in Express Analytics. If any suggestion I would like to give to the EA team, that it should approach more IIT students, because this company is full of potential and students are eager to learn from this company. And from the advertisement, they should also approach one of the IIT Kharagpur is also there. Many other IIT students they are not aware of this company. So when I will go back to my college, I will recommend my juniors that they should apply for this company, and it would be wonderful experience for them to come here and to learn great things from this company and from the EA team as well. So, thank you.
Okay. I hope you were able to hear it. And the next steps is that we have some time for question and answers, and the way the question answers would actually work is that you can click the hand button, and if you have any questions, you can type in the questions, and we'll try to answer some of the questions. So I see a couple of hands raised. You have to enter the questions in the, okay. There is a question from Varna Tiwari, how to avail of internship with Express Analytics. Express Analytics will send all the attendees and the registrants a link to apply for internship, but you can also coordinate with the IIT Internship and Placements office, and they will be happy to connect you with us. And I'm sorry that in between you were all not able to see the screen in between. Opening for which departments in IIT Kharagpur is a question. We're primarily looking for people from the computer science, mathematics, and other departments related to information technology. Any other questions? So probable job locations is another question that I've gotten, and it's a good question. The job location most likely would be Pune right now, because that's where our head office is in India, and you would actually have an opportunity to for international assignments once you have spent some time with us, and we have seen some experience. So that is one of the most important things that I wanted to highlight, that Express Analytics is a Indian company with a office and head office in US. So you have an opportunity to work worldwide with one of the the best of the best companies. But primarily, currently, we are looking for people who can actually develop product development for Express Analytics. Our intent is to create a product in the customer data and customer intelligence space, and so we are looking for really sharp people from IITs to help us build a truly world-class Indian product. As far as other departments and if you are not a computer science or a math and engineering student, we still have openings for you. It's not like you will be shut out of that opportunity, but we just prefer people from computer science and maths and physics, so who can actually already be ready with some of the information. Another question I've got is which type of project that we have to do in the internship. So it's a good question. Let me answer what kind of a question, what kind of a project in the internship you would work. So Pradeep and Ajay, the testimony of whom you saw, they worked on an identity resolution project for us. Essentially, when you have got a large number of customers and anonymous customers who show up, you need to resolve their identity to know exactly who they are, and that's what they work. So algorithm development and writing TensorFlow and image recognition based machine learning algorithms. That's essentially what you may be able to do. Okay, being an automobile, another question that I have is, being an automobile enthusiast, is Express Analytics into the automobile sector? I have some work experience on electric vehicle research and fields related to sustainable transportation analytics. Yeah, I wish we were in the automobile space or the autonomous vehicle space, but we currently are focused on analytics and machine learning. But if you guys have any interest in transportation analytics and all, that would be definitely something that we can look into. At least as an intern, we could actually create an environment for you to experiment on some of your ideas. Although that's not currently what we do. Just want to be clear. The next question is, what will the shortlisting test comprise of? Will it be topic specific, as in programming specific, machine learning specific? At this point, we expect students to be able to have a good handle on languages such as Python, ability to extract data from a very large database, billion row database, and be able to effectively analyze. Machine learning, if you have exposure to TensorFlow and machine learning, that's actually a high priority for us. The next question that I have is, could you please describe a data science project at Express Analytics in brief? This will take a little bit of time, but let me see what I can do. I may be able to share with you. As I mentioned, that we're currently focused on marketing analytics. And one of the problems, as I mentioned, is identity resolution. And identity resolution means you have got people who come to your brand, interact with your brand at multiple channels, be it a mobile device, be it a WhatsApp or a Facebook or a LinkedIn kind of a channel, or a desktop device, or even walk into a store and be monitored by service video surveillance and so on. So there is ability for us to capture all this data and be able to identify that this is the same person. So this needs a lot of deduplication, merging and purging of old existing records, and then being able to put things together to say that you are the same person that we actually are wanting to identify. And once we have identified you, then every time you come online or any channel, we will be able to say that, aha, I know this person. And so the kind of trust that gets established between a brand and a visitor allows the transaction to happen that much more faster. I hope I'm answering some of your questions, and if not, you guys can always send us an email and we'll try to answer them in a little more detail. One question is, how is the work culture in Express Analytics in terms of growth and as an individual and work-life balance? So I want to say this, that we try to maintain a decent work-life balance, because the whole objective is that we don't want you to work 24/7 and burn out in 2 years. That is not sustainable. And the most important thing in software industry is sustainable development, because it takes a lot of time to train a person to become a smart expert data engineer or a data analytics or a data scientist. And we don't want to lose them because they were stressed out and had to walk away. So we want you to actually have a very good work-life balance. And we, as Pradeep in the video articulated, that we don't manage your work in terms of time you spent. We focus on objectives and the time frame in which you deliver them. So essentially, so long as if you can do the work in 4 hours, the rest of the 4 hours you can actually enjoy life. We have no problem with that. Wow, there are quite a few questions. Written test, we will actually let you know what kind of questions that we need to what kind of topics we expect in the written test. We will let you know, but you may be given scenario-based questions to try to create. So for example, if we were to actually give you a small situation and a data set associated with it, if you can already work around finding a solution to it, that would be something that you should expect. when will the placement exam be held on? We have not yet finalized that schedule, but I believe that placement exam will be held somewhere in the first quarter of 2020, because this is an assumption that we are looking for people who are graduating in June of 2020 to join as a in our jobs. Will there be any training period prior to joining? And honestly, this field actually transitions so fast that we expect people to do some training and join us as an intern, because as you join as an intern, we have an ability to get you skills that are really hot in demand in the marketplace. So I hope I have answered some of your questions. Excuse me. If I have missed any, or if you have some more detailed questions, you can always send them back, and we can go from here. Any more questions? We have got still a few more minutes. If not, then I will conclude by saying thank you very much for attending the webinar today. Truly appreciate your time and interest in Express Analytics, and specifically welcome to the field of data analytics and data science. This is a very exciting field, and I do hope that you have an opportunity to see that. The next few slides I'm going to share these are the names, and contact us in case you have any questions. I'll leave it here on for a minute or so that you can capture this. We'll also send these names to you, and you can always approach us through our website. So in the meantime, because we have a few minutes, I'm going to kind of say something that you probably already know, that data science is a multidisciplinary field that uses scientific methods, processes, algorithms, and systems to extract knowledge and insights from structured and unstructured data. So what was not possible yesterday is now possible, because we have got new devices coming online, like Alexa creating a conversational interface to a brand so that they can extract or place an order by voice. That is something that we're looking to do. And this is an example of a decision support system. What does it do? A lot of the people would have a lot of questions, and to solve them, you need data science. Which are the products, which channels are not performing, these kind of business decisions, what are the projected sales, and who are the potential customers. This is really what we can try to address. This slide kind of articulates the types of data analytics. So descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. It all starts from ease of use and visualization to the complexity. The higher the complexity, the more the value, but it also takes a lot more ability. So descriptive analytics essentially says what happened in the past, accurate for operations management and telling what is going on. But as soon as you get descriptive, you start to ask questions like, okay, why did something happen? Why did a certain set of customers churn or something like that? This helps troubleshoot issues. Then as soon as you have found the problem, then you actually are likely to say, okay, tell me, is this still happening in my business, or is it likely to happen again? And how can I prevent it? And predictive analytics and prescriptive analytics actually go to that stage. Prescriptive analytics is, you may have seen advanced analytic algorithms like recommendation systems. If you bought something, let me share what else you may like based on other people looking at it, and so on. So recommendation engines, identity resolution, these are some of the advanced topics that we are working on. This again is what happened, what will happen, why did it happen, and what may likely happen. I'll leave you with this. I think we are just about out of time, but information is the oil of the 21st century, and analytics is the combustion engine. Peter Sondergaard, Senior Vice President of Gartner. And it is so true that every single day we are actually finding a huge challenge. One of the most important things that as India needs to focus on is how do you compete with the likes of China and United States in the 21st century? How can we as a country develop products that are world-class products and that can be used? So where are the TikToks of the world from India? And these are some statistics about almost 97,000 data science and analytics jobs remain vacant in India today. And in India, the analytics industry is estimated to be about 3 billion. Actually, this is not India, this is the whole world. It's expected to be $3 billion in size and is easily expected to double by 2025. So it's a great opportunity to be in this space right now. This is a process of how we end up with a data science can come up with a model. There is always the issue of data collection or ingestion of data, integration of data, so that data from diverse systems and diverse granularities, timelines gets merged together, analyzing it, visualizing it, and then creating predictive models and then making recommendations to corrective actions. Those are some of the questions. And this is again how is data analytics implemented? So let me just take a quick sweep. There is a question somebody asked about how much CTC will be offered for full-time hires. It largely depends on the skills that you bring to the table. We don't actually put you in any kind of a bracket. If you bring in a really good high-end, high-quality talent, money is not a limitation. We actually are focused more on getting the right people on board instead of saying that this is my budget and so I can pay you only so much. All right, that's about what I have. I think I am going to, I've got about 5 or 6 minutes more, but if there are no more questions, we can go ahead and stop it.